Do you want to build a snowman?
It was the princess movie that became a cultural phenomenon. Frozen, the second highest grossing animated film of all time.
Magic.
Now back in theaters with a sequel for legions of fans who aren't ready to let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
That iconic song, celebrating girl power and sisterhood, inspired millions of mini Anna and Elsas worldwide.
Elsa is such a gift to me as a woman in my 40s, not just a little girl in a blue dress, because I am reminded all the time of how important I am and the things that I have to send them out there and celebrate.
Idina Menzel returning as Elsa with all of the original cast. Josh Gad as Olaf, Jonathan Groff as Kristoff, and Kristen Bell as Anna.
Unicorn, ice cream, castle, oaken, teapot, mouse. Oh, Elsa!
When this project was introduced to you guys, were you sort of like, oh my gosh, we've already done the best, most successful animated movie ever done. Do we take it to the next level?
We were eager because we just missed each other, so it was exciting to just get back in there.
Coming to work opposite these three is literally the greatest thing I could possibly ever imagine.
We do have a lot of fun together, because Idina does feel like my sister, Jonathan feels like my boyfriend, and Josh feels like my son.
Kristoff, can I borrow your wagon?
In Frozen 2, Elsa is now queen, on an incredible journey to discover her family's history, learning from the mistakes of the past.
I climbed the North Mountain, survived a frozen heart, and saved you from my ex-boyfriend, and I did it all without powers. So, I'm coming.
The first movie, she was always a little bit more fearful of this power that she had, and then this one, she's more enthusiastic and optimistic.
There's a lot of messaging in this movie, and I feel like we did that with the first one, and the second one lives up to that. The lesson of how do you learn from the past and help people around you.
It takes complex themes and it simplifies them.
The cast is confident directors Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee have struck a new chord with Frozen 2.
Jen journaled as the girls for months. She journaled as Anna, journaled as Elsa, to try to figure out what the next pivotal moment in their life was.
I had a lot of reservations because I was like, how do you match or even top not only one of the biggest animated movies of all time, but one of the greatest animated musicals of all time? Doing a sequel to a musical is not a thing. Like, people don't do them for a reason. It's very hard to make people forget about the songs that these songs have to live up to. And very early on, I think the first song I ever heard was Into the Unknown. And I immediately was like, oh, right. Like, we are in the hands of the most gifted creative team.
Bobby and Kristen can't really write a bad song.
That creative team, husband and wife songwriting duo, Kristen and Bobby Lopez, who won the Oscar for Best Song for Let It Go. This time around, each character has their own musical number. What was the dinner table conversation about? Oh my gosh, we have to come up with another Let It Go.
We never had that.
You never had that
conversation at the dinner table.
Okay.
We wouldn't talk about that because that would lock us into a place of fear, and you can't write from a place of fear. True creative place in your mind comes from great stories and saying, oh, please let me take that moment when this character is feeling something so strongly that they can't even talk anymore and makes a big decision. It makes us go, like, literally want to steal the paper and say, let me take this, just give me an hour and I'll get it.
We see a lot of excitement in each other's eyes. We would have done this without there having been a movie to come out. It was fun to do.
Is it ever difficult to work with each other, husband and wife?
It can be, of course.
Yes, it's a ton of give and take and inspiring each other and mostly making each other laugh.
Frozen 2 also has a few new faces. Sterling K. Brown and Evan Rachel Wood. What's it been like for you to become part of the Frozen family?
It's so incredible. A dream come true. I mean, to be a part of the Disney family is already so mind-blowing, but then to be welcomed into an already established Disney phenomenon was incredible.
It has these wonderful light moments and these really probing questions about identity, where I come from, what is the next step in my life.
I heard you on Jimmy Kimmel, and you kind of joked around a little bit about diversity.
They threw a little color up into Arendelle. Your boy had to come represent. I don't care if it's based on a Nordic myth or not, but like everybody should be included in this one. And now we should actually get a chance to see ourselves in everything, especially when we're coming from our imaginations, right? It's really important.
The Frozen franchise, which is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News, expanded the limits of what we've come to imagine for princess films.
And the first one, you know, gave you these two heroines that were at the helm, but I like how Kristoff was represented in this movie. You have some great lines. There's one point where he rescues Anna in the midst of a battle, and he doesn't say, "I'll take over." He looks at her and says, "I'm here, what do you need?" And I thought that was such a beautiful thing to say to your partner. So egoless. It's just a beautiful example to set for kids.
A beautiful example for a new generation of Frozen fans. I'm Abby Boudreau for Nightline in Los Angeles.
Frozen 2 comes out in theaters Friday.